Right to your left, right, left.
Thank you for the privilege of meeting on this hallowed day in this free nation of honor our veterans and to rededicate our lives to you and our country. We thank you that we are permitted to live through days of challenge, for the hours of the testing of our loyalty to our national heritage, and for our devotion to the high ideals of which others have lived and died. Bless, O God, the thousands of disabled veterans in our hospitals today, and also the homeless veterans in our land. Relieve pain, ease their suffering, and give them cheer and hope. Help us to respond gladly and generously to their needs in body and spirit. We pray for our men who have still been in prisons and generously need bodies and spirit. Give to them courage in the face of hopelessness and comfort in the midst of loneliness. On this day of sacred memory, we ask for grace and power to live true lives, to be better servants of the living God, finer fathers and mothers, noble sons and daughters, and more loyal citizens of the great country and your world. Lord, grant that we yet see the day when war and fear of it shall no longer be. You shall be done on earth. Amen. Okay, Mary.
Heel, head, cut! Heel, forward, forward! Heel, first volley, hook! Heel, make, ready? Hey! Hi! Heel, keep going. Heel, second volley, hook! Ready? Detail, aim. Fire! Detail, pick, cover. Detail, third volley, ho! Detail, pick, ready? Hey! Fire! Detail, present, forward. Bugler, house. Detail, port, huh. Detail, port rig, huh. Detail, ball out. Safeties.
in the glass ceiling.
You got that pen, D?
So we have that in common.
Oh my God. Oh.
Get in there.
Tastes pretty good. Really?
Ready? Everybody look at me and smile.
Make us skinny. Chins up. All
There you
right.
go. I took three.
So we can start our ceremony. Good morning. I'd like to thank you here for coming to the Bennington November 11th ceremony. November 11th is a special place in the heart. It's Armistice Day. We ended World War II, and it was signed at 11 o'clock, and a lot of people don't understand. That's why the parade starts exactly at 11. We have some honored guests here today. I'd like to introduce Rebecca, our Congresswoman from Vermont. We have our keynote speaker over here, Dee. Mary Morrissey. John from the American Legion Auxiliary. John. And most of all, the youths in this country, the young children that are sitting out there, the eyes of America, the people that are going to be our next leaders. So I would like to introduce Denise Coltley. I'm sorry if I pronounced that right. We call her Dee. She's going to be our keynote speaker. She's the president of the Hometown Heroes. She's American Legion Auxiliary 13 unit member, 13-year member of the Legion of the Department of Vermont. She's a historian for the Legion. She's a member of the Riders. She's a district representative. She's American Legion's representative in the Department of Vermont. She's also American Legion and the legislative chair, which helps for stuff for veterans, okay? That's really important. She has the following positions of the American Legion: District 4 President and past unit president over 4 years. Welcome, Dee, for our guest speaker.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. In a shorter podium. Okay. So I'm a little bit nervous public speaking, but here we go. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here and welcome to the grounds of our beautiful Vermont Veterans Home. I am honored to have been asked to speak to you today. My name is Denise Coltley. Everyone calls me Dee, and I'm president of the Green Mountain Hometown Heroes Board of Directors. Introductions of the rest of our board members will happen, but first I want to acknowledge that today is Veterans Day and say a few words. I am not a veteran. I am the oldest of 10. 4 of my brothers served in the military. Go Army! Along with a lengthy list of many family members, including my father, stepfather, grandfathers, uncles, cousins, nephews, and my niece, who is a Marine. In addition, there are many people I know who are friends that are veterans. World War I, known at the time as the Great War, officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919. However, fighting had ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice, or temporary cessation of hostilities, between the Allied nations and Germany went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11, 1918 is regarded as the end of the war to end all wars. Veterans Day continues to be observed on November 11, regardless of what day of the week on which it falls. The restoration of the observance of Veterans Day to November 11th not only preserves the historical significance of the date but helps focus attention on the important purpose of Veterans Day, a celebration to honor Americans' veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Many people may confuse Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Memorial Day is a day for remembering and honoring military personnel who died in the service of their country, particularly those who died in battle or because of wounds sustained in battle. While those who died are also remembered, Veterans Day is a day set aside to thank and honor all those who served honorably in the military, in wartime or peacetime. In fact, Veterans Day is intended to thank living veterans for their service, to acknowledge that their contributions to our national security are appreciated, and to underscore the fact that all those who served, not only those who died, have sacrificed and done their duty. In 1980, about 18% of U.S. adults were veterans. Today, it is approximately 5%. Active duty service members comprise less than 0.5% of the U.S. population. Yet, when Hurricanes Helene and Milton wreaked havoc on the southeastern United States, thousands of active duty, reserve, and National Guard service members mobilized to provide life-saving relief and recovery operations. An estimated 43,000 U.S. troops and a dozen warships are deployed in the Middle East. Marine Corps detachments provide security at U.S. embassies worldwide. Members of the Coast Guard perform an average of 42 search and rescue missions daily and facilitate the movement of $15.6 billion of goods and commodities through our maritime transportation system every day. One responsibility that all Americans should carry is the remembrance of those who have made our freedom possible. By virtue of your attendance here, you have shown an appreciation for veterans. The people here are veterans, friends of veterans, family of veterans, co-workers of veterans, and neighbors of veterans. It is up to us to ensure that every veteran believes that his or her service to this country is respected by their fellow Americans. There are many tangible ways that we can acknowledge their sacrifice, but the easiest is simply to say, thank you for your service to our country. On this, I'm not done yet. On this Veterans Day, we honor not an armistice, but the people who have served and continue to serve in the greatest military the world has ever known. To those veterans here today, thank you. To the mothers, fathers, spouses, and children of our military men and women, thank you. And to all of those who show your gratitude through action, thank you. It is my privilege to recognize you. To each one of our veterans, thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifices, for your valor, for the things you carry inside, for protecting us, and for defending our rights. Thank you for your courage, strength, and dedication to keeping us safe. To our Vietnam veterans who are so poorly treated upon return, welcome home. Never forget. So, that was the first part of my speech. The second part is about Green Mountain Hometown Heroes. And if any of my board members are here, come on up. going to have them introduce themselves.
Oh, goodness. Good afternoon. I'm Shirley Adams. I'm a retired Staff Sergeant First Class. I'm a part of the Legion, American Legion Post 13.
Good morning. I'm Stephanie Peters, and I'm a member of the American Legion Auxiliary for Post 13 and a board member for the Green Mountain Hometown Heroes.
Hi, I'm Joe Bizon. I'm the president of the VFW Riders here in Bennington, and on the board of the Hometown Heroes.
Green Mountain Hometown Heroes is a collaboration of the American Legion Post 13 Riders and the VFW 1332 Riders in Bennington. The Hometown Heroes project was brought up at a rider meeting about 2 years ago. The original program first ran in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania in 2006. There are now banners on display in many communities across the country. I first learned about the program several years ago, but sometimes life gets in the way and it ended up on the back burner. Now here we are today. Our board has spent a lot of time together researching the program, sending emails, making phone calls, writing text messages, and meeting in person. Once we met with the VFW riders and presented the program, Green Mountain Hometown Heroes was created. At this time, we are waiting for confirmation on the final approval of our 501c3. All of our paperwork has been submitted. It was a prolonged process of creating instructions and application, attending select board meetings, and meeting with the town of Bennington officials to get where we are today. A productive collaboration with open communication between our board of directors, the town, Green Mountain Power, the state, and our local road crew. We are all volunteers. Banner approvals do not happen overnight. There is a process, and sometimes that takes time. We would ask you all to be patient with us. As of today, 68 banners have been installed. Some of those veterans and their families are in attendance here today. We are getting ready to place our third order of approximately 30 banners. And if you are waiting for a banner, please check your email and spam messages. A banner will not be ordered for your veteran until we have written confirmation that all your information is correct. We have also met with the select boards from Pownell and Reedsboro, and both communities have approved the project. All of us on the board are dedicated to this program and so immensely proud to be honoring our local hometown heroes. Thank you all for attending today, and please enjoy your afternoon. Though we do have a couple of more speakers, so don't leave. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dee. Let's give her a big round of applause, all the hard work she's doing. All right, this is no stranger to the town of Bennington. I'd like to introduce my favorite House of Representatives in the Vermont, Mary Morrissey, and yours. She tirelessly works for us. The little train that could was actually remembered after Mary Morrissey, just chugging away. Thank you, Mary Morrissey.
Good afternoon. As we gather on this Veterans Day to honor and say a heartfelt thank you to our veterans for their military service to our country, we are also celebrating the hard work of the Bennington Hometown Heroes Banners Project Committee. Dee Colte, Shirley Adams, and their team have brought the Hometown Heroes banners to our community that lined the parade route from the Four Corners to the Vermont Veterans Home entrance and also from the Four Corners south on Route 7. There are only a couple of other communities in Vermont that have such a Veterans Public tribute, though there are several more towns in the planning stage. I hope our citizens will take the time to walk the Hometown Heroes banner route to see some of our local veterans who have honorably served to protect the freedoms we have today. Please take time today and every day to thank our veterans. Please put your hands together for them right now. I will now read a proclamation that will be formally introduced in the legislature in January for the newly created Bennington Hometown Heroes program. This proclamation will then be forever in the history archives of the state of Vermont that Bennington honors their veterans. Governor Phil Scott also sends his sincere thank you to our veterans and their families today and wish that he could have been here with us here at the Vermont Veterans Home. Please join me in saying thank you to our veterans who are here with us or are watching on CAT TV and their families for their service. On the count of three, please loudly say thank you. 1, 2, 3. Thank you! And now for the reading of the proclamation. The Green Mountain Hometown Heroes Banner Program and its recognized members of the U.S. Armed Forces. Whereas starting in 2024, the Green Mountain Hometown Heroes Corporation, in collaboration with Bennington American Legion Post 13 Riders and the Bennington VFW Post 1332 Riders, is organizing a commemorative display of customized banners along Route 7, extending from the Four Corners in downtown Bennington to the Vermont Veterans Home, honoring past and present Bennington associated members of our nation's armed forces who served in the U.S. Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, Marine Merchants, Navy, Space Force, and the Vermont National Guard. Whereas the individuals to be recognized served in military conflicts as long ago as the Civil War and in the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, and the global war on terror. And whereas this special celebration will enable family members or descendants to commemorate their loved ones who are on active duty and were honorably discharged or who were killed while serving our country. And whereas this patriotic tribute to Bennington's military veterans became a reality due to the successful partnerships with the Bennington Select Board and the town manager, who granted official approval for this innovative endeavor, Bennington Public Works crew, which is installing the banners, the Green Mountain Power Company, which gave permission for the banners to be displayed on its utility poles. And whereas today, November 11th, 2024, Veterans Day, the Green Mountain Hometown Heroes Banner Program is being formally dedicated in a solemnly reflective ceremony occurring in Bennington. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Senate and the House of Representatives that the General Assembly will honor the Green Mountain Hometown Heroes Banner Program and the recognized members of the U.S. Armed Forces. And at that time, each of the groups that are involved in this program, the Green Mountain Hometown Heroes Corporation, along with the American Legion Post 13 Riders, Bennington VFW Post 1332 Riders, the Bennington Town Manager, and Green Mountain Power will all receive copies of this proclamation. I thank you, and again, please, every day, thank a veteran.
All right, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our last guest speaker, Congresswoman Rebecca. Will you please have the podium? Thank you.
Good morning. So I come from just over the hill there, at the other end of Route 9 in Brattleboro, and there's nowhere else I'd want to be this morning. These kinds of events are incredibly important to me. And I want to tell you a little bit about why. So my dad came here as an immigrant from Hungary, and he lost his father in the Holocaust. And I will always be so indebted to all of our servicemen who liberated the camps throughout Europe. Now, my grandfather did not survive, unfortunately, but there are families across this nation who owe a debt of gratitude to all of those servicemen who saw those terrible atrocities and made it possible for people to live, for their families to go on, to literally have descendants. And when my dad came here as an immigrant, he knew that he would want to also give service to his adopted country. And he served in the U.S. Army. I know someone said earlier, "Go Army!" That's how I feel too. He served in the Army, and I was actually born on an Army base in Germany. It was a really big part of my upbringing, thinking about how we give service back to our communities and to our nation. And though he may have been an immigrant, he loves this country and would do anything for it. And he really instilled that in me, which is one of the reasons why I now have the greatest honor of my life of serving all of you in Congress. It's a job that I take very seriously. Very seriously. And it is important that we take the time to give thanks and tribute to the courage and the hard work and the sacrifice that all of our veterans have made and that their families have made and continue to make. And it's so important that we all remember that we have a responsibility to make sure that every veteran who serves has the health care, the mental health care, the resources that they need to live a life and retire in dignity. Which is why it is so important for me here to be on the grounds of the Veterans Home here. I'm going to be taking a tour later to learn about the programs here. And it's one of the reasons why I was so happy to support the ongoing work in Congress around the PACT Act, which makes sure that we expand the services that veterans are entitled to, and we make sure that every veteran, regardless of their disability or needs, gets the attention they deserve. And we as a country need to not just speak our values, we must live our values. The other reason it's so important for me always to participate in events on Veterans Day is that my uncle Jack, he was one of those Vietnam vets who came home And he was not welcomed by his community. He was not welcomed by his nation in the way that he deserved. And I say to all of you, welcome home. Welcome home. And I know watching my uncle die a very painful death from lung cancer, that there will always be concern in the back of my mind that his service in Vietnam had something to do with the way that he died in terms of what he was exposed to. And that is why it isn't enough to give thanks. We have to give resources to make sure, again, that people have the services and the support that they need. And I dedicate my life to that. And today I am here with Thomas Renner, who serves in my office in Congress. He is my veterans liaison, and I want to make sure if there's anyone here in the crowd that has a question, please make sure that you find Thomas after. We take that work incredibly seriously. So today and every day, we have a responsibility to live our stated ideals as a nation. And I try with all of the work that I do to do my small part in making sure that we are a nation that continues to honor freedom and sacrifice and opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Congresswoman. Now, would you please all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States? One, I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two. Honor guard, prepare to carry out the orders of the day.
Post! sir. Reach. Cover.
Sorry, like a lot of us in the community, we wear many hats. I'd like to invite you here to some refreshments afterwards, donated by our local Walmart. Mrs. Krozik got that going, and it's a really nice thing. Thank you all for coming here today. We have some refreshments afterwards at the VFW. Enjoy your afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.